Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to come on and remind you to go tell your story. The world is waiting to hear your story. Your story is going to change the life of someone. I also I'm also really excited to share this book that I'm reading, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. You need to get this book and you need to read it. It will change your life, it will change your perspective, and it would help you to make sound financial decisions. It doesn't matter where all the mess that you made in your finances before. We are here to fix it moving forward. There's still time. As long as there's breath in your lungs, there's time to fix it. Yes, and if you're a young person, now is the time to get the information. I believe that our school system needs to incorporate financial management into their system, because it is critical for the young people, because we could teach them how to create wealth, but if we don't teach them how to manage and keep it and even grow it, they're gonna be at a disadvantage in life. And even scripturally, we sometimes take things in the wrong context. We say that money is the root of all evil, but it isn't. The love of money is the root of all evil. Anything that we love above God becomes our God. And it is critical that we understand that money is not bad. It's the love of money that becomes the conflict. And we need to be very, very knowledgeable about wealth, about how it works, how it's acquired, how it's kept, because we cannot do and fulfill our purpose and become all that God created us to be without finances. Wealth is not a sin. Poverty is a sin. God created us to have wealth, but he didn't want wealth to have us. The Bible also says that money answereth all things. Every problem that we have, we need money to solve it. Every initiative that we want to do, we need money to go forth and do it. So we need to understand very early the principles of wealth and how to handle wealth, how to handle the wealth that comes into our hands, how to keep it, how to grow it, how to build it. Do not go into the first thing that happened to me is I started to think, why didn't I get this quicker? Why didn't I get this so much earlier in my life so I could have gotten it right? But things come into our lives at times, and we take it for granted. But thank God for second chances. Thank God that he gives us. He said he will redeem the time. He will redeem the time. And part of redeeming the time is, when it comes back, we need to take advantage of the opportunity and maximize all the chances that we were given, and really grab a hold of the knowledge. Get the knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge. So get the knowledge and absorb the knowledge and put it to use. The one thing that stood out to me the most in this book, it's the Richest Man in Babylon. It talks about Babylonian times, and the richest man in Babylon shared his wisdom on how he came from nothing. He acquired wealth by hard work, and he's teaching this younger generation he's pointing out some of the mistakes that they're making, and teaching them what they need to do. And I think that even as young people, we are sometimes very arrogant. We think that we know how it should be done, and we don't have nothing in our bank account to show for it. So we need to trust the wisdom of our fathers that went before us, because they went through things that taught them what they know today. And we have to respect and honor those lessons, because it cost them something to be who they are. It cost them something to acquire what they acquired, and to manage what they had, and to keep what they had. They had to pay a price, and they had to learn lessons through the price that they paid. And we need to honor them and reverence that. So that is the one thing that stood out to me, because sometimes we take what they went through for granted. So when they talk to us, we tend to not have an appreciation for their wisdom. But one of the things that stood out as well is, a man's wealth is not in his purse. A man's wealth is the wisdom. So fathers, you could leave trust funds. You could leave trust funds for your children, but you have not really left an inheritance to them unless you gave them the wealth of your wisdom. That is the most valuable asset that you have, and that is we can't do it without you. We need your wisdom, and you need to spend time depositing that wisdom into this next generation, and us as the younger generation needs to humble ourselves and sit at the feet of our fathers and glean from their wisdom, because their wisdom is what is going to carry us to the next level. But also, fathers, you need to not try to make us fit into the mold that you were shaped in, because we were shaped differently. We were shaped for this time and this season. So some of our thought process and some of the things would be different. So we want your wisdom, we want your knowledge, we want that which you have. But allow us to be who God created us to be in the process. So I just want to invite you to get this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's going to change your perspective it's basic principles, but it's just so well put together that I think every young person coming up needs to read this book and apply the principles of this book very early in your life, and you are going to be a great success in life, and a great success in business and in entrepreneurship and in managing your finances. So you could go on and do what God created you to do, and you can leave a financial legacy, you can leave a spiritual legacy, you can leave a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. That's what the Bible says. And I was like, I need to leave an inheritance for my children's children, so I need to get these principles right, because tick tock time is running out. So we need to do it right. And I just want to encourage you, take my advice, read this book and go tell your story. The world is waiting to hear your story. Bye.